We're so phony. We're watching mixed table tennis, gold medal match, and we act like we know what's going on. We're experts here. Paulie's giving me the strategy of what they're doing. You know, I think you want to hit it right down the middle, and then you force the two partners to come together and decide if who's gonna hit it, and they don't have rallies. It feels like it lasts about 3-4 seconds, like bloop 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 bloop. And then that's it. Next point. And we're experts on this. Yeah, every 4 years maybe we watch some of these events, but now we're an expert here. We know exactly what's going on. Handball, curling when that happens in the Winter Olympics. We just embrace these and then we move on and never talk about them again. Yes, Seton.
I'm watching men's synchronized diving last night.
You had a real problem with this.
Massive problem with it. Massive.
And rightfully so. Explain to the audience.
It's men's synchronized diving. Okay? That means synchronized diving. There are two divers who go at the same time. And in my opinion, they have to stay in sync, right? They have to do the same moves at the same time as closely as possible and then get into the water with as little splash as possible, right? So I'm watching.
So they're supposed to mirror each other.
Yeah, they should be like exactly
through the
right.
entire dive, they mirror each other. It's like you're looking at one, but you could be looking at the other.
Yeah. Okay. And so I'm watching, and the announcer's like, "Oh, well, you're going to get some points off for this. You're going to get some this and that, right?" And then the team from China gets up there, and they're crushing everybody, right? They go and do their dive. They basically can take a victory lap. Okay. They got this thing wrapped up. Okay. They get up there, and in real time, it looked flawless. It was like, holy crap, that was amazing. Look at what they just did, and they were barely even trying. And then when they showed the video slowed down, they were clearly out of sync. One guy's head was at like 12 o'clock. The other one was closer to like 2 or 3. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. That's not synchronized. I don't understand this. And the announcer said in the moment, but that's not a big deal. That's not a big deal. It matters how they get into the water. That's what really counts. Then why isn't it called just diving? Why is it called synchronized diving if being in sync is not important? I don't get it.
I'm right there with you. I am.
Like, well, technically it was a much more difficult dive, so they're going to get points for that. That'll balance out whatever they got. I think they got like a 9.5, almost a perfect score. Okay. But if you can't stay in sync, then don't try as difficult to dive, because if you're going to try the more difficult dive and you can't do it, then you should get points off.
Yes, if you're not synchronized, then you should lose points for synchronized diving.
Yeah.
It seems fair.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Oh, I don't think you're alone. I think there are a lot of people outraged at that last night.
Throw up all of our papers. This is what I'm doing just before I'm going to bed, by the way. I'm like yelling at my wife. I'm like, hey, babe, what is it? They're not synced, though. Like, they're not in sync. Patrick, it's like 11:30. Would you just stop?
Just go to bed. Women's gymnastics later today, the finals, swimming finals, rugby, surfing as well. Men's gymnastics team got a bronze medal. That's a big deal. That was a really, really big deal, because the men's gymnastics team is sort of like the men's soccer team in the Olympics. Probably don't expect too much. And the fact that they won the bronze is pretty impressive. Now, if the women's team would win a bronze, that would be terrible. That would be a huge disappointment. But the men, they won the bronze, and all is well so far. USA women, they rolled Japan yesterday. I don't know who their competition is going to come from. They may have one of those games where you go, okay, a little interesting here. And it comes like this. You are going to try to beat them shooting the three because they have great size. Nobody has the size. Although China has, I think, the tallest woman in the world. Is she like 7'8" or something like that?
Checking.
Okay. Now, I watched her play, of course, doing my scouting here, my prep work, and she kind of labors up and down the floor, but if she gets it up high, it's pretty hard to stop her. I don't know if that team is good, but I know that she gets like 40 points a game just because everybody else is probably under 6 feet, and she's 7'8". Yes, Paulie?
I think you're right, but I have the roster in centimeters, so I got to. I need like a month to figure that out.